that's built into our common sense, which is that the world, the physical world, consists of two aspects, respectively form and matter. This was foisted on us by Aristotle, and also by the Bible, because it is said that God created man out of the dust of the earth, and as it were made a figurine in his own image, and then breathed the breath of life into its nostrils, so that this form of clay became a living being. And so underneath that lies the notion that everything material is made of some sort of basic stuff, like clay is the basis of pots. And for centuries, scientists, philosophers wanted to know, what is that stuff? What are we made of? Now look here, a carpenter makes tables out of wood, and a potter makes pots out of clay. But I ask you, is a tree made of wood? Obviously not. A tree is wood. It's not made of it. Is a mountain made of rock? Obviously not. It is rock. See, our language contains innumerable ghosts. Supposing I say, the lightning flashes. Surely the flashing is the same as the lightning. There is not one thing called lightning and another called flashing. The lightning is the flashing. It is raining. What is this it that is raining? The raining. I can make a noun out of a verb any time by turning it into a gerund. So we populate the world with ghosts, which arise out of the structure of our language, and thus, therefore, of the structure of our thinking, because we think in language or in figuring, in numbers. And so it's an intensely fascinating investigation to find out what are the hidden assumptions that underlie language and figuring. In other words, language and mathematics. And here is this basic assumption, you see, that is almost with us all. It comes again and again into our everyday speech, that form, pattern, organization, organisms are made of something. As if there were some inert, primordial, and of course stupid stuff which had to be put into shape by an energy and an intelligence other than the stuff. Like the intelligence of the potter shapes the clay. So therefore, we have a basic picture of the world in which everything is being pushed around. There's a boss.
Yes, and it was you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, Court. Listen, 10 scientists were on the plane, scheduled to be 12. 2 of them were late, right? So the story's coming from these 2, and then while they're telling the story, they say it was 4 in total, but they don't bring up the other until the end of the. You'll figure out why. So they're talking about the 2 scientists that don't make it. The guy said that there was something strange going on at the airport when him and his partner were late. He said that he already saw.
She just kicking me.
Did you want me to come and pack you up and put you in the middle of a motherfucking grilled cheese sandwich, bitch, and make you wear some motherfucking high heels, put some motherfucking lingerie and walk around my motherfucking house, bitch? Did you pack you up, bitch?
What is that?
Okay, so take this. Take this and basically just edit it. Just edit, like, whatever you have to change. Don't just send it word for word. Just read through it and edit.
Radhe Radhe Govinda. Wait,
No,
let me.
after I finish mine, after I finish mine, I'll play yours.
To it and examined it with ever more minute instruments. They first started cutting up things with knives and cutting them smaller and smaller and smaller until the particle that they wanted to dissect was exactly the same.
Jo. Det beror på när man är där.
Nice på sommaren.
Ja, sommaren alltså. Nej, under bron är det på vintern.
Vi planerar inför nästa sommar, 24.
Nej, jag snackar nu på lördag då. Om nästa sommar.
Welcome to Clown House, starring the Clowns. This is a dinner for schmucks entertainment event. I hope you enjoy. God bless you all. Prepare for absolute toxicity and neuroplasticity. God bless. Ooh. What up, Gemma?
Well, I believe at least. So yeah, it's just something to think about. And kind of figure out where you stand.
Are you actually willing to take a stand? Like, are you trying to risk jail time? Because, like, I'd have to think about it, to be honest.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, you're a bitch, Raspberry, a little fucking bitch.
And I also think that, that's on a spectrum, right? Like, what you're willing to risk today might be way more of a risk tomorrow. You know, you might not think you're risking anything. Like, what if it's retroactive? What if it scans everything you said online and just decides, oh, like, you're a problematic person? Like, that's a real future that could happen. The limits of technology in terms of surveillance are, up to your imagination, really. And we've already seen movies depict how bad that can be, and reality could probably be much worse. So, I don't know. Like, I think it's scary to consider, but it's literally how America was founded, is to stand up against tyranny, right? There's people living all over the world who have never known that freedom, who are living under, like, much greater oppression. Like, what are they really willing to risk? Like, I don't know. Again, it's a scary conversation, but I think about the Telegram founder sitting in jail right now. Think about Elon. Like, no wonder he supports Trump. Like, his personal freedoms are certainly at risk in doing what he's doing, allowing us to communicate how we are here. I'm really grateful for those people. I don't know if I would be that brave, but I hope so, like, when the time comes. And I think it might come. Who knows? But I hope so.
Yeah, the thing is that the history is the most predictable thing in the world. Like, the patterns just keep on repeating. And if you think about it, the Roman Empire lasted longer than the current, lifespan of America, and that shit fell. And at that time, people never thought that shit will fall, but it did, due to many, many, many reasons. And at the end of the day, it's like there are so many patterns that are even present right now, and you're seeing in other countries, specifically Latin American countries, that have been taken over by communist regimes that are not allowing actual elections and freedom of speech to take place. So, like, this shit's repeating itself, and we always think, like, the most fucking, like, mid-curve take is that it can never happen here, and that is some outer bullshit.
It's dangerous.
And you
yeah.
thing.
I agree.
It's a dangerous mentality because honestly, it can and it has and it will
It's
again.
already happening,
And
bro. If you've been to a college campus in the past 10 years, bro,
Exactly.
like, we all get fucking kicked out of school for this shit we say, bro. Like,
And given that, like, given that the right to free
My
speech
youngest-
is established in the United States, like, I think it's especially important for U.S. citizens to speak out and try to uphold it as best they can to set that precedent for the rest of the world because, you know, it was started here, so it falls here. I think that's kind of, you know, a really bad sign to everyone else.
And
not
as
to,
this
like,
keeps on progressing, I think
you know,
more people in the crypto industry specifically will like go back to like the original point of all this shit. And because like again, if they take away your money, you have no real speech anyway. So like at some point, as this shit keeps on happening, I guess people will actually think about this crypto shit a little bit more seriously in terms of like what it stood for in the first place.
yeah, I think that's possible. I mean, the blockchain is
Hi,
censorship
my
resistant.
name
Who the fuck let Wei Wei on? Who the fuck let Wei Wu on?
can I meet her, please? Can I please meet her? Wait,
Hi.
is that Mika speaking? Hi, Mika.
No, this way. This
Wait,
not
wait,
Mika.
Wei Wu.
Damn.
Wei Wu.
Hello,
Hello,
my
my
name
name
is
is
Wu.
My name is Good. Konnichiwa.
What?
Wei Wu, why do you flirt with my bangs?
Feedback loop.
What?
Here we go.
Yeah. Wei Wu, why did you call me a WHORE yesterday?
What? Sorry.
Yeah.
English not good. Can I please get... Hi.
PhD says change the space name to follow top Chimper and I'll join and talk for a bit.
Wait, did Bob Black say that? Who said that?
Yeah.
Oh, low key, let's fucking do it. Okay, wait, can I just speak to Wei Wu while you guys set that up?
Okay. What do you want to say?
I guess, yeah, whatever.
Okay,
What do you want to say?
so Wei Wu, where are you from?
I'm from Shandong, China.
Shanghai?
Now then, I'm in Michigan.
Okay, and may I ask, is that you in your profile picture by any chance?
Yes, but I make pictures very I add many things to pictures, so no one see me.
Okay, well, it was nice to get to know you. I dropped you a follow, just letting you know.
I don't care.
Bob Black's it.
Bro, she's not gonna fucking follow you back.
I was just making it known for the entire space so everyone knows that I follow her now. I wasn't asking for a follow back. I haven't asked for a follow back from anyone in a very long time.
Listen, I'm going to make America very very good. Okay? Make America great. Okay? Thank you.
Sorry, I just came up here and said you could. Shut the.
You see what you guys have done? We try to have a productive conversation. Like, literally, this is what you care about? Mike is saying the end of RIP freedom, the end of the world, and you want to hear from fucking Wei Wu?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say end of the world.
Yeah, I know. You didn't say that. I know. I definitely paraphrased a little too close to the sun.
But Mike, do you think there's enough military-aged males with high enough testosterone for us to like defend freedom of speech, or are we just like killed by the microplastics?
I don't know, like.
I'm someone who defended Trump but didn't vote for him, and I told myself if it came down to it, I would. And after 2020, I said, well, we don't have free and fair elections anymore. But then Bobby came along, and I was just like, this is the guy. This is the guy. And here we are, and there's all this outpouring of love and everything. It's been 2 days, but I'm going to be a broken record until Election Day. It's not enough. These spaces are not enough. We have to ensure the integrity of this election. I don't even know if it's possible, but we have to try. And it's going to be, these spaces can and should continue. I think they're great. I only discovered Twitter Spaces recently, but this is a great way to connect with people, but we need more. We need to share more. We need to get more people on board. And everyone needs to look up or become familiar with all the voting processes of their state. I'm in the process of reading up about mine right now. The polling booths have to be finalized 20 days before the election, but it can change if there's a quote-unquote emergency situation. That's the kind of thing that they're going to use. That's the dirty tactic that they're going to use is emergency situations, last minute. Participate in exit polls. Conduct exit polls. Volunteer if you can. Guess what? The same people that helped steal the 2020 election, listen, you might have a different opinion on what happened. It's just my opinion that it was stolen. But so let me say, with that in mind, the people that helped steal the 2020 election, they're going to be working this one. You understand? The same shit is going to happen. These spaces are great. The outpouring of love is great. But we also need to dedicate some energy to, someone needs to come up with a concise bullet point list of things that we need to keep in mind coming up so that they don't pull the rug out from under us. You know, we have a lot of momentum now. Kennedy and Trump coming together is kind of a dream of mine. So I'm super happy that it came out. One other thing I wanted to say to Patrick, your personal story was very touching, and you said something along the lines of no matter what you try, you can't change, you just can't help it. And I just want to let you know you can. I was addicted. I had a problem with Adderall abuse. I never had a prescription for it. Cocaine, alcohol, cigarettes, and I started, I don't know if I can talk about it, say microdosing, and it took maybe 6 months, but I'm 4 years sober from everything right now, and I don't even microdose anymore. You know, it is possible to change, no matter how hard it may seem, because it seemed impossible for me. I never thought I was going to be able to beat that, and I did. And I just know that I've talked to a lot of people who are scared off by those substances, and it's scary until you first try them. But
Can I interrupt you, Coley Jewett? Did you pair it with any kind of books or anything, any kind of therapy or psychology to do your healing work?
Not really. I just listened to a lot of other people's personal experience with it. I did do sensory deprivation. There's a floating center nearby, so it helps you get to a meditative state easier. And I was practicing meditation, but it was very difficult for me because I probably have like adult ADHD or something. Like my mind just always constantly races. But I tried to quit all that stuff without microdosing, and I couldn't do it. I didn't think that I had the willpower, and microdosing is really kind of what unlocked the willpower that I thought I had lost. It created the new neural pathways, and it helped me a lot. And Patrick, I would just encourage you to just research it. I'm not telling you what to do, but just look into it. There's they might have just changed the MDMA therapeutic rules or law that was in place. And also one other thing real quick, can anyone confirm, did Bobby lose Secret Service protection?
Yes, he did. Earlier today, they stripped it from him.
Where's the source? I just saw a post about it. I don't know if it has a source, but I want to say it's been 7 weeks since the attempt on Trump. We have 10 weeks to go. So again, with the unity and the love, it's great, but think of how much happened in the past 7 weeks. We have 10 more weeks to go. They haven't even started yet. It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. We've got to come up with a concise list of things to keep in mind, rules to follow, things to watch out for, and we just got to stay united in this. Thanks.
So I have a main point, but I want to go over two things just after the last speaker. As far as the addiction goes, I take a supplement combination called Glynac, and it's glycine and NAC. NAC is N-acetylcysteine. And NAC is the stuff that they use, like if you overdose on like painkillers and you go to the hospital, it's the only thing that's going to save your life. And it's kind of like this very interesting supplement that has a lot of magical properties to it. Not to glorify it with the words or anything, but look into NAC for addiction because there's studies that it helps with it. And if you pair it with glycine, it boosts your glutathione production, which is the most potent antioxidant in your body. And it will help with cleaning up anything inside your body and the like withdrawals. But look into it. There's some studies on it. I don't know. Maybe it could help you.
I think with liposomal glutathione, is that the same thing?
Well, I don't know. See, I'm not a doctor. None of this is medical advice, but I'm a health nut because I got pre-diabetes and fatty liver at age 25 because I didn't understand that the food you eat can be toxic. Hence one of the big reasons why I'm here. And I became a health nut once I took my health back, and so I study it about 2 hours a day. It's like my special interest. And I know that if you take glycine and combine it with NAC, it boosts your glutathione production in the body. I don't know how absorbable liposomal glutathione is.
I hate to interrupt the Borfil conversation, but are you vaccinated?
No.
Stop interrupting.
Stop interrupting!
I did not get vaccinated. I almost lost my job and other things, so I actually got.
Sorry to interrupt the Borfil, but are you vaccinated?
That was a whole ordeal, and everyone I know who got vaccinated got really sick.
Stop interrupting.
I'm still scared if my girlfriend's gonna end up getting cancer or something. Who knows what could happen? But anyways, yeah, for the point you just brought up, I think giving your body the tools to produce the glutathione, in my non-professional opinion, probably better than just taking it, but it's something you should research. Anyway, the 2 points I wanted to... Yeah?
Go ahead.
Oh, I just didn't want to get too off topic for everyone else, but the points I really wanted to touch on was, I heard other people talking about volunteering for Election Day, and I think that is so important. I am in. I'm going to look into it as soon as I get off here and volunteer in my town. And, I mean, if anyone's interested, message me. I would love to maybe make, like, a map of the U.S. and try to, map out where we have people who will be on the ground and where
I hate to interrupt.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Track it. Yeah, it would really be great to track where we have people and where we don't as well, because if we track the votes and see where things spiked, if it does happen, we'll know. It's like, hey, we didn't have anyone there. We didn't have anyone to oversee that. So if anyone's interested, just message me. And then, my main point was just going to be about the Secret Service. I wanted to know if anyone had a source to prove that was true. I've seen a lot of people post it. I reposted it. I usually don't repost unless I look into it. But it concerns me because I have noticed that the mainstream media has been bringing RFK on ever since this announcement to talk about things that go against their donors. I mean, these are people who are paying the money to silence him. And he's out there speaking about it on mainstream media. It didn't quite make any sense to me, and I wasn't sure what was going on. And so I have a very mild, worry that if they do remove a Secret Service protection, if that's accurate, then wouldn't it make sense that they would put him on the media so that they can push him out of the news cycle, get something else that's more fresh, and then maybe silence him for good? I don't know. It's just a mild worry of mine. Anyway, thank you.
What are you talking about, pushing him out of the news cycle?
The assassination attempt was in the news, and then they pushed it out for the next thing, and then they were running that. They very quickly brushed it under the rug, and I'm just worried they're gonna put him on just to be like, yep, we told the story, we're moving on. Now it's about this next thing. Look over here. So I don't know. We'll see. But if that post is true about the Secret Service, it does bring up some concerns for me. Because everything just feels a little weird right now. Very, very unnatural.
Yeah, one of the things I follow is definitely like the money trail and all that. So I guess it could be a good thing if he's close to Trump, because Trump does seem to be closely aligned with one of the major CIA contractors. That would be Peter Thiel. So, maybe he's trying to get close to Trump to get on the inside. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, but I'm interested to know if Peter Thiel can kind of call it the hard top, or so to speak. So who knows?
How about where's Miss Maryland? How about if we hear from you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How's it going today?
Great, thank you. It's going good, thank you. I just want to say, actually, I want to follow up on the Secret Service. I saw that too, and it's interesting that they just revoked his Secret Service privilege. So I said that's good. That's like interesting timing that they did that, which is crazy. Now it's like he can't go and campaign, I think, with Trump. So that's crazy. And these rallies, I mean, this is where the assassination attempt came. So I was like, this is wild. But, you know, for this election, you know, you just expect the unexpected. So this is kind of retaliation from the DNC. But anyway, I was going to say, I am so now excited for the Unity ticket. I wasn't at first. I was kind of like, oh my gosh, what are we getting ourselves into? But in hindsight, just thinking about the chess move that Kennedy is playing, I'm excited for that. I'm kind of like, I was so praying that he'd make the right decision, and I really think he made the right decision. I think he put it on the table. I think he heard us, that we didn't want him to drop out, and he didn't really drop out. So I'm like, okay, this is good. And he didn't end the campaign. It's suspended. And what I like about this is that there's all options on the table. One, he can ensure Trump wins by a landslide. He gets the cabinet position, whatever, and he can still win, people. I'm just saying, he can still win. It's still on my list of things that could happen. And deny Kamala votes. So, I mean, this guy is a genius. Kennedy supporters, you need to be proud of Kennedy. Kennedy is making it happen. This guy is making power moves in a power position. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, in hindsight, I was thinking about it today. I was like, I mean, honestly, the Kennedy campaign was, I mean, look, we were going nowhere. I mean, that's just to be real. We weren't really going for the cars. And now we got all this momentum, and we're moving, and we're going somewhere, and I'm so excited. We got energy in the campaign. We got mega on board. We got Trump. So I've just done I don't know, just a complete turnaround. I'm like, this is good. I don't think we could see that at first, but this is good. We're now going somewhere, whereas before I don't think we could go anywhere. So my hope, though, is that, you know, this is my hope. I hope Trump makes Kennedy VP, because he is bringing some votes and momentum to the table. Just saying, maybe that'll happen, maybe not, but I'm just saying, he's bringing something to the table. So anyway, lastly, I want to just say I'm definitely making America healthy. I'll be taking my boys probably in another month, so I'll be taking care of making America healthy. So I'm already on board with that. So, and with that, I'll land the plane. Thank you, everybody.
Can I just point out the three things in what Kennedy said for his Unity Party speech, which were ending the forever wars. The second is the vaccines and poisoning ourselves with big pharma. And the third is censorship. And those three major issues is what unites Americans and defeats the Marxist communist terrorists known as Kamala Harris and Chinese waltz.
I'd like to just add to that real quick.
Sure, go for it.
In my little town of 164 people, we were all suspended from Twitter permanently. Isn't that so? Again, what it feels like to have your freedoms lost is real, and every single person. And we're in a town of 164. We're nobody. I'm a 66-year-old grandma, and my voice was stifled permanently, and it took, I think, about 4 or 5 months before I could even get back on. So I'm all for that's free speech. I think the war thing, the carnage, is what's really. I mean, the world needs this Trump and RFK Jr. ticket. The world needs it. The carnage is real, and people don't need to die. And the evil protesting that's going on, it's not getting anywhere. So, you know, we need to be able to live free in our country. We need to get our country back for the American citizens and our veterans. And exactly those three things are what we need to focus on. That's what we're saving, but we're rescuing our children as well. Thank you.
I just hope I agree, and I hope everyone is thinking. We've got to make sure we hold folks accountable once we're there, and we don't take our eye off the ball after the election, because they're going to need the support of the people to get this done. And again, I still have my doubts on whether or not I don't know. I just really hope Trump is genuine. But I'm loving the energy that everyone has together, and as I'm in these spaces, I realize my heart is with a lot of Trump supporters. As I listen to all you guys talk, it's clear that a lot of us are aligned. So it does give me hope, for the future, regardless. But we gotta hold them accountable. There were a lot of promises made last time. Not all of them were kept, and if the people are pointing him in the right direction, it's a lot harder for him to go off course. So, I know there's a few hands up, so I'm not sure who's next, but
How do you rationalize? How do you get around the fact that both Trump and Kennedy were possibly, Kennedy's uncle, Kennedy's father, but the assassination attempts themselves, that investigation, if they should win the presidency, that those commissions, can we even trust it? Will we ever get to the bottom of the truth and who killed Kennedy, who tried to kill Donald Trump's head off?
Kennedy is going to expose all of that. You can bank on it. Look what he's doing right now while he's been campaigning. He sued Biden for censorship and winning. He countersued all of these lawsuits across the nation against the DNC for these ballot things, these frivolous lawsuits, and won. He's done all these other things in his past, in his 40 years of litigating Monsanto and DuPont and all the rest. He's won, okay? He knows where to go. He's going to expose. That's one of the things he said on one of his posts. The first thing he does in the first probably week of his office is turn all of that over for us. Open it up. He's going to expose it. So, yeah, you can be assured of that. And I'm sure he's probably talked to Trump about, hey, let's look at what happened to you. Where did that all go? Neither one of them can get at that right now, right? We got to get them in office, right?
Yeah. Sorry, but really quick, guys, listen, I do have to run, but, Johnny, thanks for giving me the chance to co-host. Robin, it's great co-hosting with you, too. I'm looking forward to continuing to connect with you guys.
Thank you,
and let's keep the conversation going. So y'all have a great day, okay?
You too, Jay. Thank you for everything, too. And appreciate your help.
Yes, thank you, Jay. Peace. Y'all be easy. Bye.
Okay, so I think rightfully Count Raven, and I see Mrs. Nova to you, and then we have Natalie. Let's go that direction, and then we'll go back on over to Giorgio. All right, how's that?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Alright, so the first thing I wanted to tell you guys, so the other night I was actually on one of the spaces with you guys. Robin, I think you were there. I'm almost positive you were there. I know Johnny was there. There was a bunch of us. We went till I think 4, maybe later. But I wanted to tell whoever was there and whoever's in here now that this movement does matter. So during that call, you guys had me dying, but my 14-year-old daughter, who is high functioning, was next to me. And I didn't know she was awake, but she had been listening to the entire conversation. So after it ended, she had popped up and she's like, "Are you off the call?" And I said, "Oh, you could have talked to me. I was just listening." And she's like, "No, I was listening too." And I was like, "Oh, you were?" And she said, "Yeah." And she goes, "That made me feel really good. And I absolutely think that this is something you should be a part of, Mom, because I have been keeping my kids up to date with the movement on Kennedy and everything that has happened and everything that they have put him through. We're reading 1984 with them. My 4 kids are under the age of 15, but we're reading 1984 and we're discussing it and we're seeing how it relates to today's society. And they notice at a young age the censorship, how everybody is similar, and that's what is being pushed for. So this movement is powerful, and when children realize that it's the right thing to do, I think we are onto something when it comes to it. The second thing was the security, his taking away the services. I think we need to step up now. I think as the masses, we need to email Kennedy and say, what can we do to step up and be in front of you? Because I'm going to be honest, if it's between my life and his, I would gladly sacrifice it. Because that means not only am I sacrificing it for him, but it's for my children, it's for your children, it's for the country. I would stand in front of him to make sure that that bullet did not hit him, because I can't get on that podium. I can't run this country. I am not in that position, but he is. And when they say one person cannot change this world, they're mistaken, because for every single person who was in an impossible situation with impossible odds, I praise God that they didn't sit there and roll over and go, well, I'm not going to get out of this. They fought and they made it out, and it was not impossible. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that at you guys. Thanks.
I think it's just so great that you're reading 1984 with your kids. I mean, that's so amazing. It really is, and more power to you to do that. Wow, I wish I'd done that with my boys.
You have to realize that Meta is Big Brother. It is absolute censorship. They're deleting videos. You can't have free speech on Instagram. They delete you now for harassment, racism, whatever the hell they want to say, and it's totally automated. That's the problem, is they will automate censorship, and citizens will not be able to communicate with citizens anymore.
Hey, are you reading the sex scenes with them? I mean, be careful.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I did. I did. And we did discuss it. And the logic that I used for them to understand it was that in this world, in this society, with the double thinking and the newspeak and the censorship and the watching, all of your thoughts are contained. There's no outlet to release those thoughts and the creativity and your ideas and your feelings. So when he's looking at these women and he's thinking those thoughts, I don't blame him. I blame what they've done and what they have made him into creating the world that he cannot share, that he finds somebody attractive, or that he cannot speak how he wants to speak, so that all those negative thoughts, that's what it results to. The anger builds up, the hatred builds up, the violence builds up. There is no other outlet other than to think all those nasty things. But I did not censor them, because I think that with relating it to them now, as they see time go on, that hopefully that story and the reasoning behind what he was doing, they can understand when somebody else is, when we're put in that position and something happens, they can see the other side of it and being like, okay, well, I don't agree with it, but I do understand why it happened, if that makes sense.
Well, it's a great book. I recommend Lord of the Rings next, because give them the courage to fight. That's the next step. Because most people, they recognize they're in a bad situation, but we don't have the courage, and I don't even have it. I don't have a verified account. I don't want, say my opinions, and then as I get back to employers and stuff.
My son did ask me, he asked me, he said, well, so when we see somebody doing something wrong, should we always speak up? Or are there situations where we shouldn't? And I told him, no. Silence is complicity. You do speak up. You don't have to attack. You don't have to be violent. But sometimes it does get violent, and that is when you have to defend yourself. So all these books that we're reading are definitely trying to steer them in the direction of, you speak your truth, you defend those who have the same and other truths, because once we start taking away the freedom of speech of one group, we're next. It's not just, oh, we're going to take it from them. No. You've just set the pavement for them. You just approved it. You allowed it, so now you're next, and then you're next, and then we're next, and now we're all done. Now we have to do exactly what they say with words that they choose, because otherwise the children will be running this country, and we will be erased.
Mike, I'm going to kind of jump the queue here. Mike, Kelly, how are you? Good to see you. And I I can't hear you. Oh my god.
I can't hear you either, mate.
Bummer, man. Okay, let's bring you right back up. How's that?
Can I just give 2 examples of how censorship can be dangerous? If you live next door to a migrant hotel where they're knifing and selling drugs and doing prostitution, you go on X and you say, you know, these people gotta go, you'll be labeled a racist. Second, if you talk about the vaccine and about how now you're sterile or you got cancer or a brain aneurysm, that's labeled medical misinformation. That is the type of censorship control which is happening right now at this very moment across all major platforms.
Yep, well, we're trying to work on it, aren't we? This is what we're trying to do is get somebody in there that's been suing for that kind of stuff. Go ahead, Mike, let's try it again. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Yo. Yo.
What's up?
Nothing, I was just sitting here talking to people on X Spaces. What are you doing?
You sound like you're on another phone talking through another phone talking to me.
Hold on. Oh, alright. I think that should be better. I have my Bluetooth speaker on.
Yeah, it sounded like you were down in the hallway. But what's going on, my man? How's your Sunday?
It's chill. I just had a...
Opening the beer right now.
Yeah, I'm drinking wine with orange juice. Chardonnay.
Never done that.
It's some mimosa.
Champagne.
I know, but what's the difference?
I know a good mimosa, but I've never Chardonnay.
Dude, I've been drinking Miller High Life with orange juice, and it has been fucking out of this world. I mean, I want to open up a restaurant and just call it Orange. Dedicated to Donald Trump and Orange Miller High Life.
I didn't know they made an orange Miller High Life.
No, I take orange juice and then I pour it into the bottles, and then I just, you know, drink the bottles.
Yeah, but that's why I don't drink Corona. Is like, if I gotta put a lime in the bottle to make it taste good, like, I don't want to drink the beer.
Yeah, but there's something about it. It's like a cream soda or something, because it.
Yeah, well, have you ever had a Blue Moon?
Yeah, but it's not orange enough because they just put an orange peel. They squeeze an orange in, and then.
Well, you can get orange put in the bottom. They'll put an orange concentrate in the bottom, then fill it up, and then put an orange slice on top. You know, it's like we do it Belgium style.
Well, then that's the way the Belgians figured out beer, because honestly, beer with an orange makes it 10 times, not 10 times better, but like probably 3 times better. Because I don't even like the taste of beer anymore now. Now I'm like, ugh, you just drink beer? You don't put OJ in your beer tastes like shit.
Dude, beer literally tastes like water to me now.
I know, but that's why an orange in it makes it taste like a cream popsicle.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like just giving up on drinking altogether. It doesn't really do a whole lot. It's like I'm about to give up on weed too, because I smoke all the time, but I never feel like I'm ever really high anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the problem is you're.
The beer, I don't do the liquor, but the beer's not working, and neither is the weed. So, at some point, why am I spending money on something that doesn't work? Because it's got to be all in my mind. Like,
No.
Like my own mental addiction.
No, you don't get it.
What don't I get?
You use the chemicals, whether it's ethanol or tetrahydrocannabinol delta 9, to continue just lubricate your journey.
Synaptic pathways. Yeah, I get how the brain works.
So I don't understand your complaints then.
We're talking about dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine.
Then what are your complaints? I don't get it. You're bored and lonely, and you're not being creative.
I'm not bored and lonely. Dude, I just worked in my garden for fucking 3 hours today, planting and pulling out weeds and shit.
Well, you're the kind of guy, see, I used to be like you, where I would smoke a cigarette with my friends and then complain about smoking a cigarette.
No, I'm just saying it doesn't really do anything for me. Like, I mean, like when I wake up sober and I don't do anything for like 2 or 3 days, and then I go back to drinking and smoking after being, you know, when I go through my fast, it just, there's really not a whole lot of difference is all I'm saying.
Well,
Like at the end of my fast, it does, like, and then in the middle of my, you know, pleasure palace, you know, for lack of another word, of my mind, you know, when I'm allowing myself to do what I want to do, like there's really no big, like, sort of difference between the two when it comes to my personality as how I perceive it, not as other people perceive it, because other people perceive things differently than I do apparently.
I know, but this app is a great way at essentially not freeing yourself, but adding to yourself. Meaning that I have friends, you know, from high school, you know, that I traveled to the Middle East with. Family members, you know, to Jordan, to Amman, and I learned Arabic and I learned their culture of, you know, of being an alpha male and not being a little complaining bitch. And I'm not saying you're a complaining bitch. I'm just saying that when you
Fight next time we see each other.
no. What I'm trying to say is, like, you know, Alan Watts.
This is my transition into furryism.
Alan Watts, and you know, actually, Heron Stone is playing Alan Watts right now, and I was like, "Yep, I bet you Doc won't be in that room." And then I went in the room, and then I complained, and I was like, "Well, finally, you're doing something right."
I was in here earlier listening to you when you had them on in the background.
No, that was a different room. That was X. I closed that, but I was talking about Kennedy. Oh. What I'm trying to say is that if you're gonna stop smoking or you're gonna stop drinking, don't let the devil know. Meaning, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's planning to do. And you already know what agape is. So if you wanna,
fatherly love.
Yeah, you already know the secret. Agape is the secret. But you might not be agape enough to yourself. That's what you might be missing. Self-agape.
Yeah, I just, like, I am bored. I'm not lonely. I mean, I got people that want to keep coming over here all the time.
Yeah, that's because people want to come over and drink and smoke with you and get high.
No, these are people that are on my level.
Well, whatever, dude. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you turn your place into a meditation yoga studio and invite girls to come over to do yoga.
No.
Well, then you're never going to get it.
I don't need to have women doing yoga around me, like in, like, you know, downward facing dog, in order to be able to get excited.
Listen, I'm giving you my opinion because this is what I hope for myself.
It's your opinion. You know what? I'll put your 2 pennies in my pocket and think about pulling out that cent. Or maybe the fart that I did in my pants. That's why I got another cent.
Well, I told my dad once what a fart is, and he couldn't stop laughing. Do you know what a fart is?
Yeah, it's a way to give a broke man a cent in his pocket.
That might be funnier than my joke.
Go ahead.
A fart is air passing over a turd.
Asking for the passing lane.
Count de Monet. Count de money. Count de money.
Yeah, I've counted my money plenty. I don't need to do it again.
Count de money.
No, it just, honestly, it's, like, today, I've had, like, maybe 5 beers. And I've smoked, like, 2 blunts. That's, like, 15% of what I've gone through.
Well, the thing is, like, if I were to, you know, I just believe...
It doesn't do it for me, is all I'm saying.
I get that, but what I'm trying to say is, you're going to have to figure it out yourself. Meaning that whatever choices you make, you have to try to use the drug. That's why I read a lot of books on drugs, because I do see the light at the end of the tunnel, meaning I do want to come out of my consumption and basically go on a health streak in the same way that I go on a drug and an alcohol streak. You know, I want to maintain the intelligence, but that's why I mix the cannabis and ethanol with philosophy or poetry, because I'm trying to retain something from the experience that can help me soberly, meaning that anger management.
I literally, like, you know, did the garden for 3 hours this morning with no headphones on, no music, nothing interfering with me, and it was like 7 o'clock this morning is when I started. And, you know, I was like raking out all the you know, weeds with, you know, from the rows, you know, and then I was planting more seeds and shit. And, like, that was my meditation, because I was just being quiet with myself and concentrating on the task that needed to be completed. And to me, that was what was more fulfilling than anything, was the fact that I just, you know, got out there and told myself that I wanted to do something, and I actually went and did it.
Right.
And I did it to completion. And I did it, you know, in utter silence within my own head.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking dumb shit that I don't remember that I was thinking. I can tell you some shit, but, you know, not all of it.
Well,
So just, you know, I was meditating and trancing out while just, like, you know, raking over rows and, you know, planting, you know, seeds.
I get that,
To
but
me, that's my new version of meditation.
well, that's great. That your method is flawless. I've been doing gardening over here. I finally got things cleaned up around here, but my point is, you know, now I'm covered in mosquito bites, and I have to ice down my legs because, you know, I got fucking Zika virus now. So there's a trade-off. It's a fucking trade-off.
Midwest style. Hey, if you get really, really bit a bunch, take a half a Benadryl. A diphenhydramine, a Benadryl is an antihistamine, and like if you get a sunburn when you're surfing, sunburns will like itch and sting. You know, when they're like you're trying to lay in bed, you have to put aloe on and all that bullshit. But if you take a half a Benadryl, histamine itching is a response of like transmitters from the skin into the nervous system. So it's a histamine block, so it actually stops you from itching just from taking half of a, you know, Benadryl. You know, bug bites are the same thing as
You know, if I take that Benadryl, it could kill me. I've got fatty liver.
Alright, I'm full of useless information.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if I could, like, if I had a magic wand, and I could make all your dreams come true, all of your complaints would disappear immediately. But then, after enough time, you'd formulate new complaints.
You'd be really upset if you ever gave me that one wish.
Listen,
I've thought about that so much that you would never want me to make that one wish. Nobody would.
what's the one wish?
To end this world that we may all be with God and be judged.
But you already are with God and you're judged.
Yeah, but the world is not ended.
The world is God.
No. I do not. How do you discern that, please? Let me know.
Meaning that the universe is God, but the world is like a dust particle.
Creation of God.
Yeah.
The heavens and the earth, yes?
Yeah. But you are the macro, like your hands say it all. So you are essentially the universe, but like symbolically in the form of a body or of a human. I mean, the symbolism has all been worked out. I've read that the real language of the universe, I mean, it's not obviously in English, it's all in hieroglyphics. So the communication that we're doing now is not the communication, is not the divine communication. And I'm not saying it's Hebrew, but I'm saying Hebrew might be closer, but it doesn't matter. That's all bullshit because it's all translated But what I'm trying to say is the complex ideas are more hieroglyphic. So if I were to do a painting and do a bunch of symbols, you'd be like dope, and I'd be like dope. You know, that would be it. There would be no more debate or conversation because you would just be the communication would come through the symbols as opposed to like a poem or an essay or words. I mean, the symbols are words, but
What is it that in, like, you know, Indian, Egyptian, and Mayan, like, glyphs that are in the temples of all three religions, even though they're on all three different continents, why do they all have the same alien that's carrying a purse?
I think it's the interpretation of that glyph would be a girl gotta eat.
Actually, that has nothing to do with what.
You're so uptight. I don't know. You tell me.
It was like the idea that there was like a being that we refer to as like the Anunnaki came down to Earth, and like they had these like little portable briefcases that were like breathing machines, and it shows them looking like astronauts, sort of, you know, and then, you know, they're walking around with these briefcases, interacting with the people, even, you know, across 3 different continents, and, you know, the idea that, you know, in a time when there should have been no cohesion of like commonality between these cultures, the fact that there was a common glyph that reciprocates the idea of a being that comes down and has a purse or a breathing apparatus to be able to breathe within our environment, you know, because they're probably alien and they don't breathe, you know, the amount of nitrogen that we have in our air. Maybe nitrogen is like, you know, poisonous to them, you know, and we breathe in like, you know, what, 80% nitrogen when you take in a lung full of oxygen.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, who knows, you know, who they were. You know, you want to, you know, dude, like everybody in history right now is less than 125 years old. So anybody alive, they can't go back more than 125 years. I don't even know anybody 125 years. But the point is, I'm just rounding up, saying you are not older than that point. And then, like, you want to talk about shit that happened, you know, years and years ago, and add in like shit that was based on something that was never written down. You know, to say like, oh, the history was written by the winner and the loser never got their truth to be able to be told, but we're telling it now. Yeah, suck my left net and make the right one jealous. It's a bunch of dumb shit. You know, dude, I don't want to understand what people are trying to tell me with their conspiracies. I just want to be okay with myself and know that I've really repented to God for the evil things that I have done, and I won't do them again.
Well, you're not gonna do them again. Nobody likes to repeat themselves. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's true. You have to admit it. People don't like repetition.
Yeah, but, you know, it was easy to make money. I got out of the game because the money was so easy.
Oh, well, this is what I'm saying is Clown House YouTube, I think it's still a winning alchemical formula for getting money from cell phones out of thin fucking air. Can you do magic like that? I'm trying to do that kind of magic. The algorithm does not like me, though. I feel.
You don't like yourself, man.
No, that's not true. I love myself. I'm loving myself.
No.
Sir, that's just your opinion.
You love parts of yourself.
Well, that's fine. You know, my dad used to say, in dysfunction, there's still some function.
And within some function, there is no totality.
Well, sir, that's just like your opinion.
Don't prove me wrong.
Okay. I'm gonna hit a bell though. I'm not actually gonna say that.
If you're gonna hit the triangle.
Okay.
And you never even had one lesson. you get old.
I don't know. I think just because you recognize the importance of freedom of speech, meaning that even if your ideas are bad, by saying them out loud, people are going to give you the inverse. So it like course corrects your projection, no matter what it is.
Oh man, sounds like a fucked up version of government.
Basically, yeah, government does project.
Well, governo mentis, to steer the mind.
Yeah.
You know, to steer is to like to be a captain of a ship, that you're guiding it on a path, and then so you're guiding it on a line, which just means mind control. Do you believe in your government? Do you believe in mind control? Do you believe in your neighbors? That chick's trying to take me out to dinner. I know she wants to take me out to dinner. It's fucking Sunday afternoon. She wants to go. But anywho, that's the pictures you should be the American bar in America house.
I got a letter from the state of Illinois telling me that they're suspending my license. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, fucking blood pressure like exploded.
Yeah, they had to give a reason.
Because I got a speeding ticket in Utah during my cousin's wedding and I didn't pay it. So they cross-communicated and now they're suspending my license. And now I have to go to court in Utah to face a judge in some little podunk town outside of Moab.
Call the court and see how if you can just pay it. Use your credit card.
I lost the ticket, so like I filed this like thing to like get a copy of the ticket again.
You know the clerk of court for the county where the ticket was issued. Call the clerk of court on tomorrow, Monday, right? Like I would call them like at like 9:30, after they're able to get their little bit of coffee in them, and then call them at 9:30 and be like, hey, I have this ticket. I live in another state. Is there a way that I can pay to release the suspension on my license? And they'll tell you, they'll get your number and they'll probably talk to the judge, and the judge will be like, yeah, the fines plus $100 fee on top of the fine, but if you pay it, it'll be cheaper than a fucking airline ticket back there and back.
You're so smart. But not smart enough, because I did exact.
I wasn't smart enough to get a fucking ticket in Utah? Yeah, I'm not that smart. Dude, I love my new pipe, dude. My new pipe is shit.
You smoke weed and did you do spliffs out of it, or you just do weed?
I just smoke weed out of it. My little Sherlock pipe, you see the picture?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude,